What is up, Internet peoples? Ninja Nick 333 back with another round of the Japan Championships. We are doing, it looks like another round 1 game right now. They must have recorded it in the back. Which is annoying because I'm pretty sure every single round up until now has been in order, which means that this one is not going to be uploaded in order of when I recorded it. Or at least I'm going to try. Or I'm just going to upload it in order. I don't want to think that much. I'm going to upload it in the order of recording this time. Last time I did a Japan tournament, I put them in order of what round they were, even though they were live streamed out of order. So, looks like we've got Lost Box versus Chien-Pao. This should be a pretty decent matchup for the Lost Box deck, although Chien-Pao does have some tips and tricks in order to, you know, skateboard, kickflip their way to victory. Looks like they have a cursor there on top of the IO now. You always love to see that. They had a cursor in the ending credits of Sword and Shield, in case you guys didn't know. They did patch it out during one of the first updates that they did, but on the day 1 patch that they had, it was still in there, so you could see a cursor during the final cutscene. It was just like sitting like right here next to a Rillaboom. It was really funny. So Chien-Pao works by getting a Stage 2 Baxcalibur into play that's very similar to the Deluge Blastoise of old or the Rain Dance Blastoise from base set, where it allows you to attach as many water energies per turn as you want. The Chien-Pao has an ability that allows you to search your deck for 2 water energies every turn. And the Chien-Pao also, its attack says you do 60 damage times the amount of water energy on your Pokemon that you choose to discard. So you can use the Baxcalibur to just load a whole bunch of energy into play, and then discard it all with the Chien-Pao to one-shot anything in the format. You do have to keep recycling your water energy every turn, but thankfully they did reprint both Super Rod and Superior Energy Retrieval. Superior Energy Retrieval does allow you to discard 2 cards from your hand, much like Ultra Ball, in order to get up to 4 energy cards, basic energy cards from your discard pile into play, or into your hand, rather. And you can't choose, like, if you were to discard an energy for the Superior Energy Retrieval, you can't get that energy back. So all the energies have to be present in the discard pile before you attempt to discard to play the card. So that's a very important ruling that a lot of people that are new might not know. So it looks like this is the Giratina version of Lost Box. Definitely very much favored in Japan over regular versions of Lost Box. Picking up a little bit of steam because of the addition of that Jet Energy here. This is just a very good deck. Mirage Gate is a card. We are going to have to see who is going to come out on top. I'm going to assume the Lost Box, because they could always just pretty easily pick off those Frigibax, the baby Pokemon that turns into Baxcalibur. And the Beaverls, the Beedoofs. And the Chien-Paos do have low HP. They only have 220, so they can just die to 2 Cramorant hits. A Cramorant just spits on them twice, and then what do? So we are going to put another Comfey into play. We are going to attach a Jet Energy for turn. Jet Energy forces the Pokemon you attach to it into the active spot. So you can then retreat it very easily as well after that. So it is a pretty good card to have in these Lost Box decks. Honestly feels a lot better than playing the, what was it? The Beach Court. Beach Court was what players were playing in these decks previously to try to move their Pokemon around, but up until recently, it seems like they've been opting in favor of going back to Pokestop. Or just even Path to the Peak sometimes, even. Not generally the greatest card to play the Beach Court. So having the addition of the Jet Energy does allow you to pivot your Pokemon a lot more effectively. Because not only does it allow you to retreat the Pokemon since it is an energy attachment, but it also is a switch card as well. So it just feels a lot better because it's almost like 2 switches in one. It feels like. Also, love those Arcanine sleeves. He's got that chandelier on his head because he is terrestrialized to the fire type. In the video games, you can terrestrialize Pokemon into any type. You just have to feed it like a dish made out of shards, like metal like glass shards. You literally just make your Pokemon eat metal, like glass. You force feed your Pokemon glass, and that's how they become different types. So the Pokemon you catch normally have a Terra type that is the same as one of their original types. If you catch them in raids, they can come with a different type, and you can always force feed them glass, 50 shards of glass, in order to change their type to whatever the type the glass you force down their throat is. Very relevant in competitive VGC. In Obsidian Flame, which is the next core set we are getting, does have a Darkness type Charizard Darkness type Charizard EX, rather. So that will be our first Pokemon EX with the Terra text that is a different type rather than like the same type. Because we do have a Fortress, we have the Arcanine, we have the Gyarados. It's a little unfortunate that Terra is just protecting from bench damage. I wish it was a little bit more interesting than that. I wish it was more like the Alpha, Delta, Omega traits that we had, the Primal Reversion type traits. The Ancient traits, that was what they were called. I really preferred those. So, no Cramorant attack from the player on the left. A little unfortunate to see. You would really love to see that. But he's got a full bench. He's got everything he needs. Definitely want to have that Manaphy in play in case that Greninja is able to do Greninja things. Because once you get that Baxcalibur in play, you can just Deluge. I don't want to even learn what the real ability name is. I'm just going to always call it Deluge to the Pokemon you have in play. So you can attach 3 energy to the Radiant Greninja at once and then just blow up your opponent's 2 Pokemon. So it looks like we went for the attack with the Chien-Pao. We were able to just discard the 2 energies we had on it and take the knockout. I think, yeah, because it does 60 damage times. And these Comfeys have, unfortunately, 70 HP, so you do have to hit for 120 instead of just 60. Feels bad. We're going to go for the Colress's Experiment. That's going to put us at 6 cards in the Lost Zone now. So we are 1 away from being able to play Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate being the key card in Lost Box decks. When you are at 7 cards in the Lost Zone, it does allow you to search your deck for 2 different colors of basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you'd like. So that's 2 energy cards, 2 different color energies. You could attach them to the same Pokemon, you can attach them to different Pokemon. Sometimes you'll attach both of them to Giratina, then attach like a Jet Energy for a turn. It forces itself active, and you blow them up for 280 with the V-Star's attack. Or you could put one on the active and one on the Sableye in order to retreat into the Sableye. Use that Psychic Energy you got in order to start putting damage counters everywhere. Sableye, although, cannot attack with its Lost Mine attack until you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone, so we're a little bit short of that still, but we might be able to get there on the next turn. Looks like there are 4 Water Energies in the Chien-Pao's discard pile, so a Superior Energy Retrieval will be able to get the 4 Water Energies out of there every turn for the foreseeable future. The reason why Superior Energy Retrieval was so good in the previous formats is because it was really great in combination with Execute. Execute was a Pokemon with the propagation ability that said that once per turn, you can put it from your discard pile into your hand. Now, once it went into your hand, it was no longer public knowledge, so therefore you do not know if, once you discard that Execute, you do not know if that was the same Execute that used its once per turn ability, so therefore you basically just ignore the fact that it says once per turn because it's infinite times per turn. So they would have 2 Executes in the discard pile, and every single turn they would just get them back and free discard for the Superior Energy Retrieval. Or you would just get 1 back, and even 1 back would still be relevant. Sometimes you just still want to thin your hand out of some dead cards. So say you were playing like Battle VIP Pass in this deck, and you still had Execute. If you have a Battle VIP Pass in hand, you get back 1 Execute, and then you would discard the Battle VIP Pass. Like that type of thing. But unfortunately, we do not have Execute in this format. They decided not to reprint that yet. So I'm really hoping that they reprint that in the future, because that would make Chien-Pao actually playable. But unfortunately, no matter how hard I want this deck to be good, it just does not feel good enough to me. It definitely has a ton of potential, but I just do not think it is quite there yet. It has most of the tools that it needs. It's really great with Irida being able to search for a water Pokemon, as well as an item card, so you can search for Baxcalibur Rare Candy every turn with Irida, which is fantastic. You also need Bibarel on the bench for draw. And as you can see right now, there are 2 Chien-Paos, a Palkia V-Star, which is another way to get energy back into play, the Bibarel, the Radiant Greninja. It's just too much on the bench. You want to have 2 Baxcaliburs on the bench in case one of them gets knocked out and put like into the Lost Zone because of Lost City. So yeah, if you have only 1 Baxcalibur in play and you go boss, knockout into the Lost Zone with Lost City, the Chien-Pao deck just folds. Because that gives you another free turn after that, because they can't get energies into play. So they have the one opportunity to use Palkia V-Star. So if you can like Path to the Peak and they can't get out of that, you like Path to the Peak, boss, knockout, or no, I'm still saying you lost City. Well, even if you could boss the Baxcalibur with Path to Peak in play, knock it out, it still goes to the discard pile, which is fine, but they still don't have a way to set up another one. So that shuts off the Palkia, and it feels bad. So it looks like we've used our V-Star power. We've been able to put an extra few energy into play now. Again, knowing that we have the Baxcalibur, we want to keep that there. Didn't really get too much use out of it yet, so if the opponent is able to knock that out, we will be feeling a bad time. The first Giratina did go down, so the Chien-Pao is at a 3-prize lead right now. So we're really going to have to see if this Giratina deck is going to be able to find a way back into this game. Because right now it does not feel like, since it's so far behind in prizes, it does not feel like it really has the opportunity to knock out the Baxcalibur. What it really wants to do is knock out that Palkia V-Star right now. And if it does, that leaves the Baxcalibur. If it knocks out the Baxcalibur, the Palkia V-Star can still hit for a ton of damage. The only way to knock out the Baxcalibur in one hit, it has 140 HP, is to use Lost Impact. Or I guess you could use Shred, but then the Palkia can just knock you out in one hit. So that feels bad. So yeah, it seems like this player on the left just like a turn behind again. Just not the opportune spot to be in right now. I do think that its deck does have the advantage, but I think that its start was a little too slow compared to Chien-Pao's immaculate start, getting Bibarel, Baxcalibur, Palkia, double Chien-Pao, Radiant Greninja. So we're going to use a Nest Ball to get out yet another Giratina V-Star, or Giratina V, rather. Now the question is, what exactly do they do? Because again, what you really want to do, because you're in the prize deficit, you want to take as many prizes as possible. You're going to want to attach for a turn to the Giratina, preferably with a Jet Energy to put it active, and then boss up the Palkia V-Star to take an exact knockout. Looks like we are going to switch card it into the active, so we can attach a basic energy now. We attach a basic energy to... Oh, we have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. So it looks like we're going to use the V-Star power to knock out this Chien-Pao. Again, that feels kind of bad because we do have a Baxcalibur in play. We can deluge as many water energies into play as we want. We just have to find them, fish them out of the discard pile. Pun intended, because they're water energies. Looks like we are going to use the Irida. That will allow you to search the deck for a water Pokemon and a item card. So you're probably going to get either a Chien-Pao or a Frigibax. And then for the item card, you're going to be getting Superior Energy Retrieval. And if you do not have enough card... Oh, we're going to go for the Battle VIP Pass. Maybe we already have the superior energy retrieval, and we're just going to be discarding the Battle VIP pass. That would make a lot of sense. Again, cursor right on the screen on the Irida. I gotta love Pokemon. So there is the superior energy retrieval, the new art. I think I'll be trying to play the old art, even though I do prefer the silver border cards. I don't know. I did order some new ones in case I want to play the silver bordered ones. But I do love my old superior energy retrievals. I've had the same playset since I started playing Pokemon. So superior is going to get 4 water energies to the hand. We're going to deluge energies here, 4 of them onto that Chien-Pao. We already had the 1 there. So 5 times 6 is 300 damage. Yeah, 60 damage times 5 energies, 300 damage if we discard all of the energies off of our active. So might as well put that next one onto the benched Chien-Pao. We're even going to put a Lost City into play to Lost Zone the Giratina, making sure that that does not get super rotted back into the deck, making it a little bit less likely that the Giratina V on the bench will be able to evolve. And here comes a big blow with Chien-Pao. It's a very odd name. I think it's based like a Chinese name. It sounds kind of like, I'm not quite sure. But it's like Chien-Pao, Ting-Lu, Wo-Chien. What's the other one? Chi-Yu? They're all very odd names. I'd rather them call Chi-Yu Fish Boy. He's cute. Fire fish. He's fire and dark, but he's a fish. It doesn't... whatever. Imagine seeing a fish on fire swimming down the river that has like a demon within him because he's darkness type. So here comes the Super Rod. We're going to be shuffling in some Pokemon. Look like it's going to be the Giratina V along with 2 energy cards. So perfectly timed Lost City there. That would have put the Giratina V-Star back into the deck. We're going to use the Mirage Gate. Oh, this is also game 3, by the way. It looks like we're just starting this match in game 3. Because it looks like Chien-Pao lost game 1 and then won game 2. So the Giratina won game 1, lost game 2, and this is game 3 that they started on. So yeah, they do start games in the middle in order to make sure that we are able to still see stuff during the between rounds. They probably recorded the whole match, I'm assuming, but they only had time to air maybe 1 game. Because this is a round 1 match and we are in round 4-ish about right now. But I'm still glad that they put more games on stream for people to watch. I wish that TPCI did this for the you know, the more American regions. Was this time? I don't know. We're still at 11 minutes. 11 and a half minutes. Looks like they paused the timer for a second. Maybe to talk about something. So we are using concealed cards, discarding a water energy to draw 2. Looks like he's just shaking his head there on the left. Does not really have any options. This is very unfortunate. He definitely needs another Giratina V-Star. He was really hoping to not get knocked out that last turn. I mean, you would have really had to Iono your opponent, and even if you did, the Beebrel is there to draw until they have more cards. So again, this is the exact way you want to play Chien-Pao if you are going to play it. So another Irida getting that escape rope to play to force a single prizer up that will be very easy to knock out with this Palkia V-Star that is already fully powered up due to its own V-Star power. And we are going to be able to take the game. That is the last prize card for the Chien-Pao player on the right. So, GG's to both players. It even goes into the loss zone for good measure. And, yep, they win. So, yeah. I would have liked to see how the first 2 games went. But Chien-Pao came out victorious. If you just draw hot enough, Chien-Pao just blows things up. And that is one of the ways I love to play Pokemon. I was really a fan of Mega Mewtwo back in the day, because you would just go double colorless, Mega Turbo, just load up a whole bunch of energy on the dude. You could even use Shrine of Memories to copy the attack of the Mewtwo EX beneath it, which had an attack that says you swap damage counters with your opponent's active. So there were times where you would get hit, your opponent has no damage on him yet, and then you would just swap the damage to heal yourself off. It was such a fun deck to play. It was not very good. I mean, it was for a short while, maybe 1 format, 3 months, but as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe to feed that YouTube algorithm. Again, really important in order to feed that YouTube algorithm. That helps these videos show up in other people's homepages. We will see you guys next time for another round of the Japan Championships.